just, I was just grinding.
Yeah.
And,
Well, this is me giving you your flowers now, bro. We appreciate you. We see that sacrifice, and we're grateful for it. Right? Why is it important for you with a million things to go on? Why is it important to you to be a part of it? And what do you hope to give the audience, through this show?
Yeah. So, in specific, I'm young, so I really truly hope to speak to young people. But really anyone who is, who wants to enter a career. It doesn't have to be here at the Pavement Group. It can be anywhere. But like to learn from, my mistakes, learn from the things I've done right. I truly, and I just said it, like I hope to be an inspiration to those people. And, doing the show too, I'm talking through things in my own mind as I'm talking to you that like are helping me, solve different problems and whatnot. So, I know what I've done to get to this point, and I know that other people who have a similar mindset as me can do it as well. It's happening. It's unfolding right now. So my hope is that, anyone who's listening to this, that like they can see like, all right, like I got to sit down, I got to grind, and like these are the steps to do it. Yeah. And if you do that, if you show up every single day and do the right things, you can't get the wrong result.
There it is.
Brian Hess
signature, baby.
It's a Brian Hess signature right there. But it's true. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Talking Lots. We are here in Studio 1, and I'm here joined with Vinnie Candelore, right?
Yeah, Candelore.
Yeah.
If you want to get like real, like, Candelore, you can,
Very Italian, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, I'm excited to have you on this episode. I know
Thanks,
we're going to be doing a little bit of interviewing
Yeah,
back and
so
forth.
I actually want to interview you today.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, because, when I first started here, Talking Lots was the only podcast that was pre-existing other than the Brian Hess show on the Pavement Group channel. So if people have come over to Brian's channel where this show lives now from the Pavement Group channel, I feel like there's been a lot of origin story that has been missed by the audience. Like, you guys are talking about things happening in the paving industry. You're talking, we did the on-site vlog last week, and people are seeing like what we're doing. But like, I think the audience needs to know who is doing it. So are you cool with that?
I'm cool with that. Let's dive into it.
All right, perfect. So my first question for you, no, I'm just kidding. It ain't gonna be that kind of interview. I look at, like when I first started here, bro, you were this like mysterious kind of guy, right?
It's funny that you describe me as mysterious.
Well, how old are you?
25.
25. Bro, you walk around this place like big boy pants, we see it. Like you carry a presence here. You obviously, from anyone who comes in for 5 minutes knows that, you've got this place, you got the pulse of this place. You know what's going on. So take me back. You're 25. You were 24 when I met you. Take me back to like Eli growing up. Let's start in high school. Let's start, middle school, high school. You're not even from Pittsburgh.
No.
So what was life like growing up for you?
Yeah, so I lived in Wisconsin all my life. You probably hear it in my accent, my goat, elongated O's.
Going
home. But yeah, grew up in a small town. Graduated with 80 some odd kids in my class. So everyone knew everyone. Going to school. Hockey was probably one of the biggest pieces of my, growing up. Like hockey's what like instilled, like everything in me, like how to work, teamwork. I was never the best on the team, so I always had to outwork everyone else. So I would argue that I was one of the hardest working on the team, if not the hardest. And I had to do that to keep up with everyone. And I loved it. I loved hockey. So that instilled a lot of values into me, growing up. And
what position did you play?
Defense.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm right-handed, but I play left.
Yeah.
I'm lefty in hockey.
That's so weird. I know a lot of hockey players that do that. Why is that?
Bizarre. I have no idea. I've never looked into it. But
yeah.
So like I golf right.
Wait, isn't another one behind the producer booth? I think he's another one over there. He does the lefty reverse swing.
Yeah, dude, it's weird.
Anyways,
man. Yeah,
you guys are weird.
It's weird. but yeah, I played defense, and man, hockey was just so big. And
Yeah.
that's why like now at the Pavement Group that we're partnered with the Penguins. Like,
Yeah.
I remember.
Would you rather it be the Wild? No, who would your team be? The Wild?
So it's funny. So the Wild, that I was closest to them, right?
Yeah.
Like I lived 30, 45 minutes from Minneapolis,
Right.
St. Paul. So the Wild definitely, but growing up, I love the Blackhawks.
Really? Just I mean, that was during, you're so much younger than me, so that was like their dynasty that.
Yeah, it was like Patrick Kane, Jonathan Tate, like all those people. And the reason I loved them is because the high school that I played for was the Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah.
So, young Eli starting out 4 years old, starting to skate, like understand what hockey is, starting to get into it. Like the Blackhawks was
Who do you think you looked at the most to like learn from or try to emulate your game after?
Honestly, I really didn't follow the NHL a whole lot.
Really? Okay.
It was really my coaches. So Andy Lindis was a big mentor of mine growing up.
Okay.
Shout out to Andy.
What's up, Andy?
I'll have to send this episode to him.
You'll have to have him on an episode sometime.
I will, yeah. Yeah, he owns a big construction company in Wisconsin.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, Lindis
Formal
Construction. Invite. Yeah. And he was a big piece of my childhood growing up, outside of my family. And, just, every day trying to get a little bit better, bit better. And,
That's awesome. Okay, so hockey, young Eli, just, living life out in Wisconsin. What, where did you go to school? And I guess at this point, I know the answer is no. You didn't know you'd be, working in asphalt, right, when you went to school? Or like, what did you want to go to school? And take me through that.
Yeah, so after I graduated high school, I followed the path that a lot of other people take, right? I decided to go to college. So applied to college, got in, had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, all right, let's go for a business degree, like everyone else. Like, let's go for just a general business. Let's learn everything. I figured out that I liked marketing. I liked sales, but I wasn't like, I didn't really know what I liked about it yet. So actually, like halfway through my college journey, I switched my degree or my major to psychology.
Oh, okay.
Like neuroscience, psychology.
Really?
Yeah, super interested.
I didn't know that.
Quickly figured out that I don't have, like, people that study like neuroscience, like you got to be like super book smart. That's not me. I'm not book smart, but I was super interested in people and why they make the decisions that they make. So, switched it to neuroscience and psychology, and quickly figured out that wasn't the exact path, and I switched it back to sales and marketing.
Okay.
Or now I went more specific into sales and marketing. And I ended up actually leaving after 2.5 years at college. In college.
Where'd you go?
University of Wisconsin, River Falls.
Okay.
So
nice. Is it like a subdivision of the actual University of Wisconsin?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, good school, good local school. But I was sitting in chemistry one day, and I was like, why am I paying tens of thousands of dollars to learn some of the things that I quite honestly don't really want to learn about.
Right.
So after that, I just dove headfirst into sales and marketing, and that's ultimately what I've revolved my career now around, is sales and marketing and leadership, and it all kind of clicks now. It makes sense, right? I'm like, all right, well, I was interested in business, and then I got interested in psychology and human nature and human behavior. Then I got really interested in sales and marketing, and now it makes sense that I love sales and marketing and leadership, because that all revolves around all of those things.
So you leave school. What's your first plan of action when you leave school?
So it was to come here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had nothing to lose. So the Pavement Group.
How old were you at this time?
I was 20. I think it was 20 or 21.
Wow.
20 maybe.
Okay, so that's a whole episode in itself.
Yeah.
But give me like the spark notes. How do you meet Brian? How do you end up in Pittsburgh? How do you know that this is gonna? I mean, I'm sure maybe you didn't know that this was gonna work. So how do you manage through?
I trusted Brian.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spark Notes version. So met Brian when I was right as I turned 18. So I applied at a company called ASPHALT Associates back in Wisconsin. Brian was the director of sales there.
Okay.
Flying back and forth from Pittsburgh to Minneapolis. So I applied there. I met Brian there. We knocked it out of the park on a couple accounts, and that company ended up getting sold. So Brian left, and he went off and started the pavement group. By that time, I was in school. I was a couple years into school. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, what trajectory I wanted to go on, and so I knew Brian. I knew Mike Hugiem. I knew.
How did you know Mike?
So Mike worked at ASPHALT Associates.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the skinny there was Mike called me one day as I was at college, and I was like at this point I was like committed to dropping out,
going to chemistry class every day.
Yeah. and Mike called me. He goes, "Hey, Red Dog, what are you doing this summer?" And I said, my immediate reaction was not asphalt.
You said that?
I said that. It was it came out of my mouth like instantly.
Yeah.
And so Mike goes, "All right, well, we're starting this thing. It's already started. We're trying to, turn it into something that's way different than what you are used to in working for these self-performing companies." So I immediately jumped on board, and my thought process was, I have nothing to lose. I'm 20, 21, however old I was. I'm like, dude, if this thing goes sideways,
time.
Okay, maybe it goes sideways when I'm 23 or whatever. I can always go back to school. I can always find a new job.
Yeah.
I was living at my parents' house, paying off school for the first year.
Yeah.
So
what was plan B for you?
There was no plan B.
Okay. That's the answer I wanted, baby. Let's go.
There was no plan B. Yeah. I mean, I would have figured it out, I would have created a second plan.
What do you think if you weren't doing this, what would you be doing?
Man, I don't know. I would have figured it out. I would have probably found my path.
It would be in sales and marketing, though, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny, before I really jumped on board at TPG, I wanted to go work for Tesla. Yeah.
What would you do there? What would be the ideal Eli job at Tesla?
No idea. Now I know that they don't have salespeople, because I just bought a Tesla, and I didn't have to go through.
Oh, you did just buy a Tesla. I heard that through the grapevine.
Yeah. But
okay, this is big news. Yeah. How is it? What's your experience like so far?
Love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you a big car guy?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've wanted a Tesla since probably 2017.
Yeah.
I bought my first share in Tesla stock in 2017.
Yeah.
And I followed Elon, and I followed the technology, and
that's crazy.
I've test driven several of them. I've rented several of them, and so finally I'm like, all right, I'm gonna.
Congrats, dude. Well deserved. Well deserved. Awesome. Love this whole origin story, building you out a little bit more as a character here at the company. And like I said, I know that there's been times where you've gotten on the camera, but we've moved the channels a little bit. What do you do now on a day-to-day here at the Pavement Group? What's a day in the life of Eli look like?
Yeah, so I'm the director of national sales. So I oversee and work with our salespeople to, really ensure that these accounts are running properly, and ensure that, that cultures line up between the accounts that we have in our culture. Working with them to hit certain numbers, hit different projections and revenue numbers, and figuring out how to grow these accounts. This year in specific, it's really turned into a leadership role for me, and I've learned a lot. There's a lot of little things that I didn't know I would learn through the process, and a lot of things that I had to unlearn, and and I'm constantly learning, right?
Yeah.
Every single day, how to have hard conversations, how to do this, how to manage numbers, how to work with hire the right people. So in addition to that, I still have a handful of accounts that I oversee and manage, and we've got a great team to help me with those.
Right.
But that's I come in every day and I sit down and I look at our numbers, and I hop on calls with our team and try to work with them through any issues and problems that they have. And dude, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, and the sales team here is just, it's unreal. I legit love when they come into town, or when we went to the Grand Canyon, got to meet, that was the first time I really got to meet Assetti and get to know him a little bit. So these guys are these are bros. And Paige is a real homie. She is I watch her when I came in, she was in the one cubicle and just started. It was literally her first month right before me. And the trajectory that she has just grown to. She's got a show on this channel now too, her and her husband Mark, but I attribute that to your leadership as well. Like, and not only just you, but Brian and everybody kind of leads each other. That's the cool thing is like you're growing more leaders. And it's honestly, it's what I aspire to do and what we aspire to do on the marketing team is to build that out and like, not only just grow people that are talented, but grow people that can lead others.
Yeah.
Lead other men and women, lead other, businesses and entities that, it's not just based off talent. It's based off of, hard work and all the things that go into that. So I just want to say thank you for laying the groundwork, dude, because I'm sitting here at a table and I'm in a building with a job because you believed and went all in with Brian. And so, you're the rock, honestly. I don't know if you realize this, but you're the rock for a lot of people. It's easy to believe in Brian, okay? Because he's Brian. I mean, it's freaking Brian Hess. But I've met a lot of Brian Hesses, and usually the Eli in their story is like the enemy or like the, we don't talk about what happened there. Like, because Brian didn't deliver to that Eli. I'm not saying our Brian, other Brians, if you're following me here. I know this is kind of...
I'm following.
Like, you're the confirmation that, like, what Brian says is going to happen happens. And there's a lot of value in that. So... Anyways,
dude, I have great mentors and great people that I've had the opportunity to learn from and who've led me. So I one of the biggest things that I aspire to do is just be that person for other people. To watch Paige come in and absolutely switch careers, like 180 careers. She was in healthcare.
Crazy.
You can go listen to her story on their podcast, right? The Perks of Paving. To absolutely 180 careers and dive in for a year, just put her head down and just work and grind, and then get the promotion and start in sales and start like now she's crushing it. And now to watch her husband do follow a very similar trajectory, and watching all these other people in our company do that, really like cool. It's what I did, right?
Yeah.
I put my head down for several years.
Yep.
And just just grinding.
Yeah.
And,
well. This is me giving you your flowers now, bro. We appreciate you. We see that sacrifice, and we're grateful for it. For the audience watching this show, right, why is it important for you with a million things that are going on? Why is it important for you to still be a part of this? Obviously we have Todd doing the interviews. Sure. Tony makes appearances here and there, and there's a lot of people that, speak into this show. Why is it important to you to be a part of it, and what do you hope to give the audience, through this show?
Yeah, so in specific, I'm young, so I really truly hope to speak to young people, but really anyone who is who wants to enter a career. It doesn't have to be here at the Pavement Group; it can be anywhere. But like to learn from my mistakes, learn from the things I've done right. I truly, and I just said it, like I hope to be an inspiration to those people. And doing the show too, I'm talking through things in my own mind as I'm talking to you that like are helping me, solve different problems and whatnot. So, I know what I've done to get to this point, and I know that other people who have a similar mindset as me can do it as well. It's happening. It's unfolding right now. So my hope is that, anyone who's listening to this, that like they can see like, all right, like I got to sit down, I got to grind. And like these are the steps to do it. Yeah. And if you do that, if you show up every single day and do the right things, you can't get the wrong result.
There it is.
Brian Hess
signature, baby.
It's a Brian Hess signature right there. But it's true. It's been.
Maybe that's what should go up on. We're trying to figure out before we started recording what's going to go on this wall. And maybe it needs to say you can't do the right things.
What should. Is it?
Can't do the right things.
You can't. Man, Brian probably.
I'm really known for abstract quotes. I throw out the concept and let you guys figure out ask anyone. I do it all the time.
You can't show up every single day and
do the right things
and get the wrong result. You literally can't. If you just follow a framework that's already been proven, and you just keep showing up every single day, you will not get the wrong result. It might not be in the timeline that you want.
Exactly.
Right? Might not be the 3 months. It might not be the year. It might not be the 2 years. It might be a 5-year.
Right. Because everyone's situation that you bring to the table plays into that as well. So like if you're starting out, maybe you're just getting by paycheck to paycheck, and you want to start something, or you want to lean into like this new path, like, well, you might have to like wean out of that a little bit and then into this. Whereas, you're dropping out of college, you have nothing to lose. You can just pedal the metal, like, let's go get this. So it's like, what I'm saying is to validate your point is, you know, I think people get the wrong thing is they look at your story and they're like, I mean, look, I'm 32. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about like when I was 25, bro, I was just trying to figure out how to make paint to stick to a shoe. Like that was like my biggest issue I was trying to figure out. Like, you know, I think it's looking at your life, where you're at and like where you want to be and like following the footsteps, but giving yourself grace to know that like, all right, I'm starting from a different place, you know? So thank you for, you know, catching me up to speed. Cause I learned a lot about you just even sitting here. I think maybe some of these stories I knew, but some of them I had never even known about you. And so I kind of want to do this with Todd and with Tony as well and like kind of shape out their story again. But what are you most excited about? We're coming to the end of the year here. What are you most excited about ending this year and going into the next year?
You know, this is it's a question that I like to ask people too. I love asking this question. I'm really excited for the holidays. I'm one of those people who loves the holidays. I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. Love spending that time with my family. I've been grinding all year, and you know, this is a time to like for a week or week and a half just sit, unplug, spend the time with my family and friends. You know, as we go into next year, I am really excited for our trajectory and watching the people who have started their journeys, who've started to transition. You know, Paige, Mark, and I mean, there's name everyone on our team basically. Like, I'm really excited to watch those people grow into new roles and grow into something that I know that they're capable of. And I'm really excited to add on new people who want to follow that trajectory too.
Yep. That's awesome.
That's it.
Green Bay Packers, here we come.
Green Bay Packers, here we come, baby. Let's go.
Dude, thank you. I don't know if I'm supposed to, I just interviewed you, but do you want to tell them, subscribe and tell them all the action steps, or do you want me to handle that?
You can go for it, man.
All right, I'm going to look at him. No, I'm going to look at him over here. And we're going to say, this is your opportunity. If you watched this whole video, if you've been following along, if you came over from the Pavement Group channel, if you don't even know what's going on because we got one team logos, stay tuned. We got a lot coming up. And the only way you're not going to miss it is if you hit the subscribe button. So do that for me now. Go follow Eli on social media. What's your Eli Stoehr?
Eli Stoehr. So
Stoehr.
ELISTOEHR.
Got it. Go follow my guy. Go follow the show. Go subscribe to us on all the platforms. And do you have a sign out for? We got to work on what's our sign out for Talking Lots.
Dude, peace out, baby.
Peace out, baby. Yeah.